everyone. Welcome back to Lisa's Love and Light. How is everyone doing today? Happy Thursday. I woke up thinking it was Friday. I love my job. Besides being here on YouTube, I love the boss that I have. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here because I don't know what's going on with the camera. Hopefully, everyone can see me well. But I have an amazing boss because I have a flexible schedule. And I'm so grateful for that. So, really grateful for the good things in my life. Today, the topic of discussion is healing toxicity. We're going to talk a little bit about that because it's so important on this path of healing the grief that's in your life because it means that we have to look at ourselves in a mirror. And it's hard to do that. And oh God, I suffer with that, guys. I mean, this path is not easy to healing. And like I said, there's some things that my mom used to tell me, and she would tell me over and over again to do this, do that, blah, blah. But at the time in my life, I wasn't listening to those things. I was just hearing, like, when you watch the Charlie Brown cartoons and then the adults are going, wah, 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 wah. That's what I heard. I know it's funny, but that's what I heard when my mother was talking to me about these things. But as I put them into action, unfortunately now because she's not here, but these things work. And, I'm grateful that I held on to what she said, even though at that particular time I didn't put it into action. But now I know, what she was talking about all this time. But we're going to focus in on today about toxicity because when you heal grief, meaning that when I say grief, you can never get rid of the emptiness that you feel from the loss of your loved one. However, you can get through it instead of being stuck in a place of depression and stagnation. And this wasn't always easy because in the beginning, when my mom passed away during the shutdown, for the first year, I was having grief to the point, like I spoke about in my video yesterday, to the point where I was curled up in a ball, like a fetal position. And thank God we wasn't working because I don't know how I would have gone back to work under those circumstances. I would probably have to take a short leave of absence because the grief that I felt I had never felt before in my life. And it came upon me when I least expected a song, a picture, some kind of metaphor of something from the past. And it would bring it on, and I had no control, And as I said yesterday in a video, I was out someplace, and I was it wasn't good. I was balled up in a corner, and that's when I started, to see that people I had around me didn't care, because I didn't know what was going on with me, and I never had grief in my life to that point, and they were just, you should be getting over this by now, and that's not what I needed to hear. I needed to heal things. And it would, some people who I thought were not important were the ones who stepped up to the plate during the time. And people like that I keep in my life. But, other people I had to let go and I had to do it, you know, even though I didn't want to because it was affecting me in a negative way because they didn't care about the grief and the whatever I was going through, you know. And I talked a lot about that. Um, there's different things when we talk about grief and healing here that will help. But before I go any further, I always want to say this because I don't want anyone to mix up the message here. I am not a licensed therapist of any sort whatsoever. So I want everyone to know that I'm not a therapist. What I'm doing here on this channel is sharing information with you, things that I've done to help me to heal after losing 10 people in a matter of the space of the same year. when the COVID struck and how it affected me and what I was going through, because I do therapy weekly and I still do it, and the things I had to go through. So this is a channel to share and to encourage everyone who watch this channel to Google a therapist in your area, connect with one so that you can get on this journey to healing. And also attend grief support groups, because you're going to hear not just stories from others, but some ways that they get through the process of this grief, because it's not easy, because you're always going to feel that void because that loved one isn't here, but always keep their memory alive through storytelling and what you learned from them and what they added to your life. And that's what I do. And I still have my moments of grief, and but it's not as it was in the beginning, because it was overwhelming. And when I lost my father, he died at the age of 59 from lung cancer, and that was hard. Um, and but I didn't feel the same kind of grief as it was when I lost my mother. And it's just, and you know, I still have that, but not to that degree. So I want to talk about some things. And one of the things I've learned on this journey of healing is that I can't do everything. I used to always think that I could solve everything. I'm not God. I can't solve everything. Um, there's a resolution, but I had to learn to lean on God. And I'm not here to give a sermon in church or anything, but to share my experiences on what's been helping me, prayer. And I felt like Job in the Bible. If anyone is familiar with the story of Job, how he lost everything. People, I mean, he was wealthy at one time. He lost his children, he lost his land, he lost everything. And then one day his wife, he got really ill, definitely ill and sick, and his wife told him to curse God and die. And then as he was faithful to God, he went through all those dark moments and trials and tribulations. And then God blessed him with more and gave him more than he ever had, for his faithfulness to him. And what I had to learn, I'm saying this to you guys because I had to learn to trust God. And it wasn't easy for me, because as I talked about in two prior videos, that I was raging with God, fighting and saying all types of stuff that I won't share here, because I was angry because I didn't feel that I deserved what was going on. But God was bringing everything to the forefront to show me, look at your life, because I was busy being subservient to other people, and people not only being subservient to other people, but taking on their burdens. Everybody has their own cross to bear. It's not my responsibility to take on somebody's cross and carry it for them. That's not for me to do. What it is, that I would do is share my own experiences of what I had to go through and what I did to get through it, so that I can help somebody else, not for me to take on their problems and make them my own. That's not what I'm here for. That's not what any of us is here for. But I was doing that, and people kept doing that. I call them, back in the day, we called them OPP, other people's problems. It's not my responsibility to take on their problems. And I was doing that. And I'm no longer that person. After going through all this stuff, God was tearing everything down to show me, look at what you have around you. Look at what's going on. Look, 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 Lisa, look. And I had to look in this mirror and look at myself. Why is this happening? Etc. and so forth. And it was hard, man. I was on my knees, crawled up, and just this is why I describe it like Job in the Bible. And that went on and on until I got it. I got it, God. Okay, I got it, type of attitude. And I start little by little to heal these things, to look at myself and understand why I was doing this, why this was happening. And therapy helped me to see that, why these things were happening and why I was doing this, and therapy was helping me to see and understand this, because it was I was just being subservient, because I didn't want to deal with the issues that were at hand. But I learned to do prayer, and little by little things got better in my life. Once I made my peace with God, because I was raging with him for a long time, people. Yes, I was. And when I speak my truths here, it no longer has a chokehold on me. Because if I'm being fake and not being my authentic self, God is not going to be around me to help me, and it doesn't benefit me or anybody else to be that way. So I always speak my truth no matter what it is. Certain particular information related to the subject, I'm not going to share here, of course, on YouTube, but I'm going to give examples of what I've gone through and how I've grown from it, and how it can help you to grow. Because sometimes things happen to wake us up, to show us what we don't want to look at in our lives. And after my mom died, because I would call her with certain things, especially when I was having issues with my son, calling my mother, talking about certain things, etc. Because she had four of us, so she knew. Um, and now she's not here to do any of that, so what am I going to do, kind of attitude, and God wanted me to trust him, and I had a problem doing that. But now, after going through all these situations, trials and tribulation, I learned that I matter. I'm important. I learned self-love out of this. That was the priority here. Self-love, people. Because if you don't love yourself, you can't give to anybody else. How are you going to give to somebody else? And how are you going to take care of yourself if you don't even love yourself? That's so important. And what I also had to learn is just be my authentic self. It doesn't matter who like it, who doesn't like it, or whatever. I need to be who I am, and that's important. Not to be fake, and not to, I'm just me. And if people don't like that, they don't need to be around me, and that's it. We all are different. Everybody march to, everybody is not the same. And I've always marched to the beat of a different drum as long as I can remember. Always. And in college, I learned the importance of the importance of thinking outside of the box, is what I'm saying here. That's so important, and to me, it doesn't matter as long as I'm doing the right thing. I don't have to worry about what other people think. And I was so caught up in that at one point or another in my life. I have a small outline here, so just bear with me a minute. You know, um, Speaking out your truth is so important because it takes that chokehold off you. Because when you are just, and it's an outlet for the pain or what's keeping you stuck or stagnated. And it doesn't mean that you come out and you share. Just be careful what you share, but just being honest about what's happening in your pain and your situation. And for me, it's just, losing everything, my dog, everything. But I had to see what I had around me was fake. It wasn't real. It wasn't real love. It wasn't real of any of this. And as I was torn down with nothing, and I realized this and did the work and healed those areas. I'm still healing other areas. The healing process is never over, but you learn lessons and then you move on. And that's what I was doing. And I healed those things. I'll give you an example about something. When I was about 6 or 7 years old, my mother converted to this religion. And, I had no choice in it. I was a minor. I had to go along or whatever. And then at the age of 23, I was no longer there, is what how I'm going to say this. I'm not going to go into too many particulars, but I left and I go to church now. I'm happy in my life, and I go to a church where I love, and the people, I just love being there. And now, because I haven't been involved with this organization that she belonged, this religious organization, for years, and I keep getting mail from them. And excuse me, people, the mail that I get is like a scare tactic of some sort. And I just throw it away, rip it up, throw it in the trash. They send another one. So now I'm trying to figure out through the post office how we stop this soliciting, because It's not who I am, you know. We, and I'm no longer affiliated with that. And we have so much judgmental in the world. We have so much negativity and toxicity. And the old Lisa would cry and be terrified by that, what was in those letters. But the new Lisa has healed all of that. And I'm no longer that scared little girl. I'm here to help people grow by talking about it, help myself to continue to grow. Those things don't matter. So if anyone, what I feel with that is that if they're looking for a reaction out of me, my reaction is no reaction, because it no longer matter, because I've healed those things. I'm not the same person, and because of it, it's just like with Job in the Bible, when he healed from those things and he got better, God bless him with so much more. And I'm at the point now, where I just trust God. I don't trust what people say or what a specific whomever say. I trust God, and that's it. And this is how I get through things. And I don't do the same things that I used to do. And what I mean by that is just engaging in a toxicity, anything that's going to bring down my vibration to a lower vibration, like, getting into arguments with people, and, just doing tit how do you say it, tit for tat stuff, revenge stuff. I don't do that. I go in prayer with God. And I don't do it like when people just pray. I pray to God like he's my heavenly father, like he's right here, and say whatever I need to say. And God, and honestly, God does the rest. I don't have to do anything, but just continue to heal and stay on this path, and this desire to help other people. I have no desire to deal with toxicity. I mean, things come up, I have to address certain things, etc. Yes. But all that other stuff and being subservient, that's the old Lisa. That Lisa doesn't exist anymore. The person I am now today, I will help people, yes. But when someone has negative ulterior motives, I just cut off, block and delete. I address it. And one of the things that really got to me is that people thought I was dumber than a rock because of my generosity and because of my goodness toward them. This is who I truly am. But there's nothing dumb about me. I see these things like, that's why people are cut off. I saw things before, but I made excuses for it, because I only want to see the good in people, but I have to see the truth in people as well. And that's what God was showing me. You got to see the truth. You got to see the handwriting is on the wall. You can't be making excuses. So now I address issues. If it continue, I just cut it off and free myself from it. Because when something has a chokehold on you, and the grip is tight, it's hard to heal from that. It's hard to heal from that if you still got that chokehold. So I learned to speak out my truths, without giving a whole lot of information, because that's not necessary. You can't do that here anyway. So I speak out the truth, I give it to God, and I keep healing and moving on. And that's the purpose here, to learn from these mistakes and situations and to grow from it. And then to be here, to help other people, because this information I'm sharing help other people too. It's all part of healing. But I didn't learn these things, or get on this bandwagon of healing until after this situation with my mother and then my dog. And I was just, you know, so I was already down to nothing, like Job was in the Bible. So people who are out to, oh, we're going to do this to her, do that, I've already been there. And you know what? As I grew from that, I healed those things. So they're not there anymore, because God helped me to heal them, really heal them. I still have other areas that I'm working on to heal, and we always are going to have something. But those other issues, I've healed them. They're no longer a burden in my life. And it doesn't matter what other people say, gossip, etc. I used to get so upset about that. But as I say to people here, if you really want to know the truth about gossip, and look at the person who's spreading the gossip or rumors or whatever it is. look at their life and look at the person's life that they are spreading the rumors about. And then you will see what is true, and what is not true. But anyway, getting off that topic, um, what I want to say is just continue to speak your truth, heal. And ways I do it is music. Before I jumped on here, I listen to music. And and every day I'm grateful for the things that I have. I get up and I say, God, thank you for this, thank you for that, A, B, C, and D. When you get up in the morning, look in the mirror. Thank God that you woke up and saw another day, because a lot of people don't get that. Thank him for the things that you do have in your life when you're praying to him. That's a tidbit I'm sharing with you, because as you do that and you start doing little things to help yourself, God takes over and he does the rest. And I know that I'm talking from experience here. Just do little things to help yourself, because grief takes a toll on your mental and physical health. So you got to take it one day at a time. Get up. If music is what you do, before you do that, look in the mirror, tell yourself you're worth it. Love on yourself, buy yourself things that don't look for anybody else to do it for you. Start loving on you, because as you give yourself the love, and you heal yourself through music and through other things, it doesn't happen overnight, people, but it will happen little by little. Then you can be a testimony to other people to help them, because people are out here committing suicide and in depression. And I talk about that because I lost someone to suicide. And that's when I would never thought that I would be on a YouTube channel talking, but after these losses, going through all this stuff and being able to heal from these things, it is something that I need to do to help other people, because there are people who are going through things, as I said before, they're not going to tell you. They're privately going through these things, because some people may be embarrassed about it, which they shouldn't, because we all are human, and it's always something. But when we can grow and learn how to heal, that's important, because as we go through these things, then we can help other people who are going through this. It's like if you already walked in the shoes of somebody else who's walking in something that you've been through, you know how to help them. And then we can pay it forward and help other people. That is the purpose here. Please share this channel. I have to head out because I have to go to work now, but I wanted to jump on and talk about this. Please share this video with other people. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and just share, because I'm going to be sharing information weekly, a few times a week with you. And everyone enjoy your day, and please think about the information in this video, because it's going to help. It's not going to happen overnight, but as you take the steps, it will happen. And I'm talking from experience. Thank you all for being here. This is Lisa, shedding love and light. And don't forget to subscribe and share the video. I will be back in a day or so with another video for you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Have a blessed day, everyone. Bye for now.